I'm putting $1,000 on the NBA Finals tonight, and I'm going to show you exactly which play I'm going to put it on. But before we get to that, let's talk about this past weekend's results and exactly how we did. Let's go ahead and start out on Friday. On Friday, we had Jose Ramirez to get one hit. He ended up coming through for us there. Then we had Martin Maldonado to go under 0.5 runs scored. He only had like 2 at-bats, and then they pulled him there, so that was clutch. Then we had Nisner for the San Francisco Giants to go under 0.5 runs scored. He didn't cross the plate either. Then we had Ronald Acuna to get a hit. He got that in his first at bat. Actually, I think second at bat, but that was pretty easy nonetheless. Then we had Tigers' money line that was atrocious. They got blown out. All right, so we ended up taking the L on that one. But let's go to Saturday now. We had Austin Riley to get one hit. He ended up coming through clutch, getting one there. Then we had Xander Bogaerts to go under 1.5 hits. He only got one hit, so we ended up getting that. Then we had Zach Wheeler to go under 2.5 earned runs. He was clutch. He came through pretty good for us there. But then we had Cronenworth to go under 0.5 runs scored, and I do believe Bogaerts was actually the one, his one hit scored Cronenworth. So we ended up taking the L on that one. All right, but we ended up going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, and 2 over the weekend. Now let's go ahead and jump into today's play. So last free play, we went to a total in baseball. We got absolutely obliterated in that one. We took the over, and it went way, way under. But it is what it is. It's only one play. And like I always tell everybody, don't go and wager every single dollar that you have on one free pick play. All right? This is just one play. Every day, I'm playing at least 5 to 10 plays. Depends on what the slate is. And if you guys want access to that, make sure you guys click the link in the description. But let's go ahead and talk about one total that I'm going to discuss in the NBA Finals tonight. We got the Thunder going against the Pacers. All right. Now, the total in this game right now is 224.5. Okay. What I always like to do with these totals, depending on what sways probability-wise in favor, is take a look at the minus 230-ish line, always, okay? I always keep it at like what the minus 230 line is on both sides, okay? So if we look at the over, if you're looking at the over here, the minus 230 line for the over is 216, okay? That's for the over. And then for the underline, it's 233.5 for the underline. Okay? These are both minus 230 at, there's like 6 sports books right now that have this line, minus 230. Now, let's take a look at this series. Okay? If we take a look at the series and how this series has went, total-wise, every game but one has went over 216. Okay? Every game but one, which was the recent game, which kind of looked like it was easily going to go over that number, but they stalled out in the second half. Now, let's take a look at the opposite side here. How many games have went under 233.5? Every single game has went under 233.5. The highest scoring game in this series has been 230, which is still 4 points pretty much below that because you need to hit 234 to be able to lose this play. So, when you look at that, just off of that base layer right there, now let's take into account a couple more things here. OKC, if not the best defense, one of the best defenses in the NBA. They're at home tonight. They should put the clamps on Indiana a bit more. Okay, we're getting closer in this series for it to come to a conclusion. So the defenses should start to clamp down a bit. It should be the complete opposite of just letting the offenses go and fly up and down the court. They should start clamping up a little bit here. And we have OKC at home. They're one of the best at doing that. Yes, Indiana likes to push the pace, but 233.5, meaning you need to hit 234 total points to be able to lose this play to get the under here, okay? The pace of play probably is going to be high again, but we've seen that last game in the first quarter. I think they had almost 70 points combined, and they went to a total of 215. So any stall out whatsoever can definitely sway in your favor to hitting an under here. So what we're going to go with is we're going to go with the alternate total, okay, under 233.5. There's like 5 or 6 sports books right now that have it for minus 230. Okay. Now, the reason why we adjust this number is because now if you take a look at the number that everybody has access to, okay, 224.5, and you look at both sides, the over and the under here, you don't really have too great of a probability. Not as much as here, where you have a 100% probability here because no game has went over 233.5. And you have a decent probability here because every game but the last one has went over 216. So the odds are, to be honest with you, the total score is probably going to end up somewhere in between here. That's really what it looks like. The total score will end up between 216 and 233.5. So no matter which side you take, you probably have probability decently of winning. And this happens a lot sometimes in the NBA because the NBA, you can get a wide range here on a total. Like this is a differential of almost 20 points between those two. Okay, but tonight we are going to go with the alternate total under 233.5 at minus 230. Like I said, it's at like 5 or 6 sports books. All right, but that is going to be the play that I'm playing tonight in the NBA Finals. And remember, when you have an edge, then every bet becomes a winning opportunity. As always, guys, I'm Frank with Linemaker Sports. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, I'm out.